Jefferson Robbins for NCW Life. The Wenatchee mayor's race is coming up in the 2023 primary. 3 candidates will compete to be the top 2 who go on to the general election. One of those 3 candidates is joining me now, James McLaughlin. Thanks a lot for being here.
Pleasure to be here, Jefferson.
I appreciate you being here, and thanks for your patience and your time today. Our viewers may not know much about you, James. You're one of 3 candidates, as I said, so please take a moment to introduce yourself.
Absolutely. My name is James McLaughlin. I'm originally from Ireland. I moved over here 13 years ago. I have 3 kids, and yes, I'm very proud to call this valley, this city, my home.
What are your professional engagements, James? What's your line of work?
I am a builder, a general contractor. I've worked with the North Central Washington Builders Association. I'm actually a member, and I have spent the last 10 years to actually educate by actually working with folks and showing them that this is actually an honorable profession. A lot of people, when they think of builders and general contractors, they think of it's bad experiences, and I've worked tirelessly to change people's attitudes, and yes, I feel very confident to run for mayor, knowing the fact that most of my customers become my friends.
Well, being involved with development and construction, James, you've seen the fact that our housing is in short supply. There's a need to be met there. And there's a need to be met for people who just can't afford to live here. There is concern that there may be a generation of people squeezed out of Wenatchee, priced out of the town they grew up in, maybe. Are there approaches that the city can take, that you'd like to see the city take, to deal with housing, to try and make sure there's a relatively good supply and housing at an affordable rate?
Absolutely. So what we need to look at is our topography is we are in a valley. We're surrounded by the Cascade foothills, and on the other side we have a river. The logical steps to do is to work in partnership with East Wenatchee and with Chelan Douglas County. Malaga has a vast level area, and with a future connectivity of a bridge connecting Malaga to Rock Island, an expansion of our urban growth development area would give us a whole new area to rezone and to repopulate. And as part of that, we can build in, and it's been carried out in many different cities and countries around the world, where a developer, hopefully a local developer, comes in and basically is putting his development plan forward. But as part of the approval and as part of the actual system, he needs to document that 20% of his development is not low income, but affordable housing. So that way, he still maintains his margin, he gets his profit for taking the risk, and the city works with them where this is a very popular scheme in Ireland. Ireland is smaller than the state of Washington, and we ran into this problem 15 years ago. From seeing how that was resolved and how it's worked, it actually brings this togetherness, and that's the campaign promise and platform in which I'm working on. Together, everybody's become very polarized. Everybody goes home, stays in their house, closes their curtains, and is insulated. We need to reconnect. COVID has probably pushed us into this position, but we need to work together. The people that are doing very well and very successful need to realize that this is not just their city, it's our city, and together we can make it a great city. If we don't, the crime, the homelessness, the disturbances, the vandalism, it's going to increase exponentially.
The city has established low barrier shelters for folks who are experiencing homelessness. The city has established 2 safe parks run by Wenatchee Rescue Mission on city property to help house those people who are living in their vehicles and try to move them into a place where they are more stable, more secure. How does Wenatchee go about continuing to offer safe harbors like that to keep people safe and healthy, or is that an obligation of the city at all?
So I was at actually the safe park. I would call it an encampment, because some of the folks that are there, the low barrier policy means that the security person on duty hasn't got the rights to actually do a drug test or an alcohol test. So we're not helping these folks that need help. We're not catering. What we're doing is we're facilitating. So this was a 120-day or 180-day policy. It was promoted that it was a stopgap for local people that were in need. The folks are from Seattle that are there. There are some people from Wenatchee. Few of them work. Most of them sit around. Putting vulnerable people in a disadvantaged area and expecting a miracle is not good governance. And the facts are, there's land that can be used. I've actually looked at it. I can possibly source it. And if we create like a safe village where we actually have gardening, where we actually have proper housing or pods, these RVs, they are, I don't know how, if I had one of these, I don't know how a fire marshal would allow me to be in it. These are dangerous, it's a bad idea, and it's only going to encourage more people. After being in Burien and seeing how Burien is cleaning up their encampments, those folks will come on buses and they'll come over here because that's what's happening. They're not going to Leavenworth, they're not going to Lake Chelan, they're not going to Kashmir, Pichasen, they're coming to Wenatchee because we are encouraging it and we are facilitating them. We're not helping them, we're facilitating them, and that needs to stop.
A philosophical question to close us out, James. What, in your mind, does a city owe to its citizens?
Transparency, accountability, and giving the best you can give. Folks that decide to work for the city, it's a privilege. It comes with a lot of great benefits, healthcare, 401k. But you know, there's also a responsibility to really. To answer your question fully, you know, I could talk about this for the next hour. I think that, you know, you have to give it the best you can. You have to be the best you can be because you're representing people that are making a lot of money and you're representing people that are barely getting by. And you have to really bring it all together. Today, I've been talking to, like I said, business owners. I've been down at the Mission. I've been talking to the guys at the transfer station, really to get an overview of what we have. And the good news is, because it's not all bad news, you know, we are where we are. I'm not going to criticize what I've seen in the past, but I am going to say we can make this place so much better, safer, and somewhere we can be proud of.
You're watching the NCW Life channel.